Hello and welcome to Gator Spotlight. Today we have a guest from a title company in Texas. We have Angelica Leon James, and she's going to tell us what sets her title company apart. Hi, Angelica.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Great. How you doing?
Good.
I'm
Thanks
doing
for
well.
thanks for being on here with us.
Yeah. So, you want to go ahead
Yeah.
and
So I'm just going to jump right in. Angelica, I first want to know more about your title company, title rep there in Texas, and I just like to know what sets your title company apart from others.
Really, what sets us apart is our virtual complimentary mobile notaries. So you could either have a mobile notary come out to you or do it virtually on our remote online notaries.
Mhm.
And we also have great pricing. And we are national. We service all 50 states and then all 254 counties in Texas. We work very closely with investors and we have a bunch of underwriters. We have 4 underwriters that work with us on a day-to-day basis. We can close creative transactions, commercial and residential.
Oh, that's excellent. Well,
great,
thank
great.
you.
So not, you
Yeah.
guys are based in Texas, but you actually can work in all 50 states because you're virtual. Not just your
Yes.
notaries are virtual, but your whole office is virtual. Is that correct?
Yes, and then on the Texas side, we have a designated team for California, but we have a Texas-based team that services the national business in the rest of the 49 states. So you get that local Texas feel without having to go elsewhere, and you get quick response times, faster service, and we're pretty knowledgeable in all areas of the transactions. So it's really great to have us on your side as an investor.
That's
Yeah, that
amazing.
sounds great.
Wow. Yeah, you sounds like you guys do it all. That's awesome.
Yes, we really do.
That's great. Well, I know beforehand you and I had spoken just a little bit.
Hmm.
And if you wouldn't mind sharing a little bit about what you shared with me, because I know there's a lot of investors on here that are going to be watching about the affidavit of heirship and kind of your experience with one of your clients.
Yeah, so we actually have a wholesaling client that's based out of Arizona, and he had a transaction here in Texas. It happened to be that they thought that their deal was basically going to die because it was in foreclosure and they needed to get an affidavit of heirship, which they did not know existed.
Yes.
So we said, hey, why don't you try at least, as a final straw, just try to see if the affidavit of heirship will work. We even helped find and track down some of those trustees for that heirship and then had them sign off on it. And we were able to get it closed. It's actually closing next week. So we work with that type of stuff all the time.
Mhm.
But our main goal is to get to the finish line. Even if there's hurdles in the way or speed bumps, we want to be there and get you to that finish line at the closing table.
That's,
That's great. That's a
that's
great
great.
story. Yeah,
That is
glad
really
that
good.
worked
Thank you
out
for
well.
sharing that.
And you already mentioned you do do creative deals. You do sub two, seller finance, double closes. So you guys understand the real estate investor space,
Mhm.
uh,
Yes,
deals,
I
which
would
is
say about 40% of our business is investor based. That is, all that the subject tos, novations, foreclosures. We do assignments, really everything under the umbrella of real estate we can do.
and I think you mentioned you have some attorneys even on your team that help out with that as well.
Yes, especially on the seller financing side. So we work with these attorneys. There are in-network attorneys that we work with on a day-to-day basis. So, with the seller financing, they'll prepare the deeds of trust, they'll prepare the stipulations. Of course, you get to choose those because or the seller gets to choose those. And we have designated pricing that we have negotiated with them for our clients. So you are saving a good chunk of money on that just by using our in-network attorneys that, we offer to you as a courtesy as well.
Great. That's
awesome.
great.
Yeah.
Well, let me just ask this as we're getting to the end here, wrapping things up. What advice would you give to a wholesaler to help them make the process a little more beneficial for everybody? When wholesalers, maybe they haven't worked with a title company before, what would be the most important thing for them to do to make the process smooth?
I would say ask as many questions and do as much due diligence as you can. It may be that a small, minute detail could change the whole way you go about a transaction. So know more than you think you need to know and ask more questions than you think. The more we know, the better it is. And it does save time in the long run. And if you don't know, talk to us and we might be able to point you in the right direction, kind of like that affidavit of heirship. Like I said, our main goal is to get you to the closing table, and we're there to help you along the way.
That's great.
Awesome. That sounds
really
great. Well, the last thing then is, how can people get in touch with you? Because after hearing everything you guys have to offer, I'm sure some of our viewers are going to want to reach out and see if they can partner with you for some of their deals in the future. I know you guys have really reasonable rates, so if they want to find out what your current rates are and talk to you about how they can get the process started, what would be the best way for them to reach out to you?
Yeah, so I have my email address. It should be popping up right here. That's the best way to get in contact with me. I also am available on cell, so I'll share my cell phone once you email me. And then we also do have a really great app for quotes, and it puts everything and lines everything out very clearly. So I can share that with y'all as well, or just run a quote really quickly for y'all. But I am happy to be a title resource for any of you guys and close your next transaction, especially since we service all 50 states and all counties in Texas. We can definitely work with all of you.
Yeah, that's great.
Awesome. That's great. Well, again, thanks, Angelica, for being on the show with us.
Yes.
And we hope to do some business with you in the future.
Absolutely. We're looking forward to working with you ourselves. So.
I know, me too. Well, thanks for having me. I really, really appreciate it.
All right. We'll talk to you soon.
All right.
Bye. Well, that'll do it for this edition of Gator Spotlight. Thanks for tuning in. If you would please like this video if you got some value out of it, and subscribe so that we can increase our impact and viewership. Have a great rest of your day.